Well, good morning. This is day something or other. I think it's Thursday. This will be, what, 5th day walking, I think. That sounds about right. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, 5th day walking. So we stayed at the great Langdale Bunkhouse last night. Which is, it's pretty basic. It's like a bit like sleeping in a prison cell. But yeah, it was a good night in there. Best thing about it, right next to the new Dungeon Ghyll hotel, so in there for a meal. Got maybe about 10 miles to walk today to Coniston. We got away about 8 o'clock this morning, so we're gonna have to wait and breakfast, hopefully either on the way through Elterwater or maybe Skelwith Bridge. Forecast for this morning, well, as per usual, it's raining at the moment and completely at odds with what the actual forecast is. But this should be an easier day for us. We've got a nice walk along the Langdale Valley bottom to Skelwith Bridge, and then it's a bit of a climb up to Tarn house, over to Coniston. But yeah, it seems a pleasant enough morning. I think the rain's going to be a bit patchy. But I'll just back up a bit and I'll pan round so you can have a look at this. Watch the rain coming down, but yeah, there's no doubt why this area is so popular. See a little bit later on. I just have to show you this. It's something of a rare breed on this walk, and that is a signpost with the Cumbria Way marked in both directions on it. As rare as rocking horse doona. Really doesn't matter which way you look here. It's it's just absolutely stunning. That's looking up towards Stake Pass where we came down yesterday. And waterfall up there. I think that might be Stickle Ghyll, or is that's actually possibly Dungeon Ghyll itself up there at the waterfall. Dungeon Ghyll over on the right. Morning. Just what an incredible place. Might not look like much, but that climb up from the farm just down there, boy, that gets the legs burning. But a little bit of height. Everything just opens up below. And looks like the weather is going to be rather fickle this morning. We're just coming into chapel style, so we've maybe done a couple of miles this morning now. And apparently there's either a tea room or a cafe here. Still fairly early, I think it's just the back of 9 o'clock. But hopefully it'll be open and we can get some brekkie. National Trust place didn't open till 9 back where we were staying. So we decided just to push on and get a little bit of distance under our feet this morning. Just campsite there. What a wonderful location for a campsite, really. And just the water is quite stunning. Actually, it looks like the rivers in Slovenia. Water's quite high at the moment. Well, we're in the outer water now. Let's have a look at this. Morning. It's really difficult at the moment just to pick and choose what to film, because I could have quite easily have walked the last couple of miles and filmed a lot of it. It's you can see by how well the path is maintained how popular this route is, and it's understandable why. Low level right next to the river. It's just glorious this morning, and it's starting to get busy now as well. This is almost a perfect point just to show you where we're going and where we've come from, and the change in the landscape. But just coming back round, I really don't have the words for it. It's a special place. Whichever way I look, the landscape is just it's got so much interest. The shape to it, it's just gorgeous here. It really is. But I'm determined to get my feet in the river at some point this morning. Might do them the world of good, although I suspect the water might be a tad cold. Morning. I can see why someone would want to live here. Have a look at the view that they've got out the front window. I'll only get you coming down the last few, I'm not that cruel. Just a gorgeous little wildflower meadow. Mainly knapweed, I think. Yeah, it was a little bit steep coming up that, but fairly short. But again, we got another change to the landscape here, into this beautiful oak woodland, and we're climbing now to up to Tarn House, which is probably, well, arguably the most famous tarn in the Lake District. Certainly probably the most photographed or painted. I think I've even got a painting of Tarn House in the house somewhere. But we've swung right round. Almost heading back in the direction of the Langdales at the moment. But this is just superb at the moment. And then you get places like this. Bit wild in winter, I expect, but what a lookout this place has. That's quite something. Little bit of road walking, and we're actually going downhill for a bit. Though my legs are complaining somewhat. Again, another change in the landscape. It's sort of moorland round here. Tarn House should be just up behind these little lumps in front of us. Footpaths have actually been remarkably busy this morning, although not too many folk out here. Still a bit of climbing to do to get up to the Tarn, where I'm hoping there might be a nice ice cream van, which would go down well just now. But the landscape today has been constantly changing, almost turn to turn. and we've always been surrounded by these high fells, but yeah, I'd forgotten just how good this footpath actually is, or this trail is. Despite the abysmal waymarking, it really is one of the best in the country. We're maybe not much more than a mile from Tarn House, just walking up a bridleway, and as is the way with the lakes, you even get off the beaten track just a little bit and there's nobody around. Where we came up from Skelwith Bridge and Skelwith Force, it was actually really busy up there, really busy, but since we've sort of left that honeypot site, if you like, we've seen two other people who looked as if they were Cumbria Way walkers as well. There's been nobody on this track, so it just shows how close people stay to the honeypot sites when they come visiting, which is a pity really, because they're missing out on scenery like this.
Park itself there for a while.
And the first view we get of Tarn House, and suddenly it's busy again. And, Tarn is basically a body of water that's a bit too small to be called a lake, but a bit too large for a pond. But the Tarn House is quite extensive. It looks as if there's been quite a lot of devastation here with the trees. You can see some up there when blow. The storms that we had earlier on in the year were quite violent, and they looked to have taken down a heck of a lot of trees. It was the same actually on the way up from Skelwith Bridge, but the belted galloways over there getting into the water. But it's a delightful place as well. Path is a bit undulating and hard work, but fingers crossed there's an ice cream van that would go down so well right now. And we're on the last stretch of the day, just starting to head downhill into Coniston, but taking a photo or the video just doesn't do it justice. Tarn House is a busy old place today, and we got our ice cream as well, which really hit the spot. Needed that. But I think we've maybe only got about 2.5 miles or so to go. But certainly this central section of the Cumbria Way is just, well, it's that. How you doing?
Okay.
I'm nearly there. I remember this, that there was a bit of a climb into Coniston. Doesn't matter where you are, there's always that one final hill. But at least this one gave us a bit of a reward. So can't be more than about a kilometre from Coniston. I think possibly even closer than that. I'm not sure. I'm not going to bother looking at the map now. But I think that's just about this final climb, the final kick in the unmentionables of the day over. So destination is the youth hostel in Coniston Holly How, which we've stayed at several times before actually, and it's a nice hostel. A little bit of a walk into the town, but that's not too much of a chore. Been a fabulous day, really hit it off with the weather. Nice breeze at times, but yeah, the Cumbria Way really is top-notch trail, apart from the way marking. And Coniston at last. There we are, and we can look out over Coniston Water now. We'll be walking down alongside that tomorrow for most of the day actually. It's one of the longer lakes, but for the meantime this is Coniston Village, or Coniston Town. I tell you what, the lakes look fantastic when it's like this, but we've been here when folk have been pitching tents in water. When it's wet, it is wet. I'm beginning to feel how unfit I am. Well, not beginning, I've felt how unfit I am since the end of day one really. But hopefully I can remedy that with a bit of work. One thing I'll certainly say, I'm feeling a little bit stronger since I started this. It's not made me move much faster, but yeah, it is having an effect. But yeah, the muscles are all groaning as I'm coming down this hill. But yeah, not far away now, and it's a nice grassy path at the moment, so got to negotiate this gate. Ugh. You know what, if they're doing meals, yeah, that's what I mean. If they're doing meals, I'm quite happy to eat here.